Continued Pipedream Fujian One has lifts, will try in the examination in high school, and the new scholars 23 with a bang to the suburbs to play. They occasionally hear Pilu Temple lodged with a fortune-telling, divination would go riding together. After the door salute seated, telling them Yangyangdeyi see the way, making phone calls will be slightly flatter. Zengmou hand-folding fan, smiled, opening asked, their Yudai plus body's fate Mangpao at Warlock looking serious astrology asserts that he can be a prime minister 2 decades of peace. Zengmou joy abnormal, flying more emotional. At this time when it began to rain, with the playmate will Zengmou shelter in Sengfang. Sengfang has an old monk, deep eye sockets, nose high, sitting on the futon. The attitude is very arrogant, not very greet with them. After Zengmou, who raise their hands to him for the ceremony, they will be sitting on their couch chatting up with the tour who congratulated Zengmou the future prime minister. Zengmou heart was lifted up by pointing with the tour, said when I was prime minister when elected Mr. Chang served as governor of husbandship Tianfu, my cousin served in the Senate will, guerrilla, my family's old servants won 1,000 of the total of what I wish to meet the people here are laughing. Soon, only to hear the outside of rain harder and harder, Zengmou sleepy lying on the couch, suddenly saw 2 palace eunuchs sent to bring Shouzhao emperor, had called Taishi country plans to go decision. Zengmou proud heart, and quickly went to court as soon as possible. When the emperor heard him speak, feel the shift body lean forward, gently talk with him for a long time. The following command disgraced Miss Hina officials and promotion decisions by Zengmou, immediately gave Mangpao, jade and horses. Zengmou put Mangpao, good where jade, kowtowing prostrate after the eviction. Go home to see, not the original live mansion, painted beams, carved rafters, it is extremely magnificent mansion. Zengmou myself do not understand why suddenly reached such a point, but as long as he was pulling his beard softly call out to answer a number of attendants will sound like thundershock. Glunking minister for a while, come gift overseas treasures, some of bowing to curry favor with flattery after another to his house. Liu Qing came, he hurried to meet assistant minister for a class of people came, he handed salute, say a few words a smaller officer came, he just nodded it. Shaanxi governor sent diva 10 people are beautiful women, the most outstanding one called Jianzian. In particular, the 2 men are loved, whenever dressed casually at home on leave, he was always watching them dance all day. One day, Zengmou think of humble Squire Wang's alien had been the county alms, now own official Gaoju significantly, while he was still frustrated career, why do not you pull him a hand? The next morning, he recommended approval of Wang's Liang memorial to decadence, immediately get the decree, immediately pull appointment. He remembered Guo Taipu has worked with some of their little resentment, called to decadence and Shi Yulu under one Chang, who put their intentions had told them. The next day, after another on impeachment memorial was Kuok, the Kuok Sozun's he to scrape away. Zengmou gratitude complain, come true, quite mind pleasure. Zengmou occasionally on the street on the outskirts of passing a drunk crash happened to his guards of honor, he sent the Tai to send drunken king join, immediately killed under a rod. He joined the mansion, people connected to the fields, are afraid of his power, his contribution to plum possession. Since then, he's almost comparable to the rich countries. Soon, Curl, Xiangxin have death. Zengmou dreaming, he suddenly remembered the early years saw the east of the daughter of exquisite beauty, many want to buy do concubines, always due to fiscal micro-libo and cannot do, but fortunately today can be a bed of roses, so he ordered several competent servant put money forcibly sent home east. A moment later, he gave the woman with a cane to lift the car, surprised to find that woman then when seen in the past the United States but also brilliant and moving, he recalled his own life, I can feel satisfied. In another year, court officials whispering, it seems that someone Zengmou disgruntled, but these portraits, Li Battle Horse dare not speak, but also the heart Zengmou high and fit, not in my heart. At this time, there was a bachelor longitude package to the emperor on the impeachment of the memorial to the throne, roughly memorial to the throne, said I personally believe that Zengmou turned out to be an alcoholic and a gambling rascal, is a Shijingxia Oran, because of words together in holy, they have won the blessing of the Holy Father, the son has done a senior, suffer the grace can be described as the culmination but he did not want to put the top of Mount Heel. Died for the country to repay in the event of divine grace, instead, wanton it is, without domineering, to clear the number of capital crimes he has committed, clear than the number of his hair harder, court official position, ranking as the goods on him, according to the official lack of fat and lean, set higher solo price tag and even soldiers are from the lords under him running, figuring gains and losses, for a chance, exactly like the bear market of goods traffic in general. For him Yang Chang breath, hope and worship the dust thanks to a number of people, but to some outstanding person, virtuous minister refused to go along with Italian music Zengmou. Light is put idle land, the weight of the issue is to scrape even refuse to obey, to this blatantly offend the right to rape a phrase offense, he was banished into distant beast no place for chilling 100 officials for this purpose, as well as the emperor and therefore isolated farmland civilians. He wantonly encroach, good and decent woman, he forced concubines hired full of evil, Yuan Qi diffuse, almost dark once every house servant, he went, prefect of the magistrate to act to see its face Zengmou private letter has been issued, the governor, provincial judge and governor, the governor will King Wang for some servant raised godson, Euclidean climb distant relative, go out. Stagecoach ride as fast as winds blowing, sound like rolling thunder, the local supply of a slight delay, immediately whipped punishment they harmed the people, enslaved his official retinue of its personnel by the department. Even the grass fields are not left. Zengmou down and arrogance Masamori, Count died, unrepentant whenever summoned in the palace to ask something. He will be clever language calumny in front of his majesty only from the court calmly contented home. Then back garden entertainment sounded singing he indulged in sensual pleasures, day and night, extravagance, but never mind the people's livelihood. Does the world have such a prime minister do? Currently, both inside and outside to disturbed humans so restless, if not quickly put him to death under the axe, is bound to lead to Cao Wang Mang usurp the throne of evil. I harbor distrust day and night, not homes, risking the money list Zengmou crimes reported to His Majesty no. I this crafty scored generation request of the head, he confiscated the property of corruption come, wrath of heaven on interest rates, at the heart of all fast. If I say false absurd, cooking oil can be knifed penalty is applied for the minister body. Memorial to the throne was into Zengmou I heard, scared driven to distraction, like drinking ice water, cool thoroughly heart. Fortunately, the emperor lenient, will withhold memorial to the throne in the palace, not issued. However subjects officials, road and other major jigging expostulation and chief executive have impeachment memorial was into Zengmou is past pupil refuge under the door. They called him the godfather godson who also turned his face to him. So decree issued, Zengmou confiscated possessions, their exile to you not exile. Zengmou's son served as prefect of Pingyang. He has sent his staff summoned for questioning. Zengmou listened to the decree, the occasion being frightened, immediately dozens of warriors, armed with swords, spears, until an internal chamber, stripped off his robes and the crown, tied him and his wife. Soon, I saw several Yifu belongings transported to the yard, banknote millions of gold and silver jewelry, jade, agate, jade has hundreds gawk, tens, curtains, couch like there are thousands, until the baby swaddling clothes, Roman's embroidered shoes are left lying on the steps in front of the hall. Zengmou read one by one, the pieces feel sad, everything glaring. After a child, one person pulling the Zengmou beauty concubine, she saw her hair disheveled, crying sweetly, look no master. Zengmou you sad hearts burning fire, rage, dare not speak. While pavilion warehouse are posted over seal, Zengmou immediately snapped out, escorted by holding the rope, pulling him, weeping with the couple on the road, begging for a broken carriage means of transport are not possible. walk more than a dozen years, had his wife with a single step. Weakness, always fall Zengmou only from time to time with one hand and helped her walk, and went more than 10 years, I have exhausted the Zengmou. See also suddenly a mountain into the sky, Zengmou worried about being unable to climb, hand opposite his wife in tears, the escort's ferocious eyes staring at them, step I also not allowed to stop. See also Zengmou's son is gone, nowhere to stay, after only a last resort, limping to forward tandem, and so came to the mountain, was the wife of effort has been exhausted, sitting on the roadside crying, Zengmou also stopped down, despite escort who breaks gold. Suddenly he heard the crowd clamoring in unison, a group of robbers all hand-held sharp weapons, jumped forward, escort were appalled, and a light to escape, Zengmou upright knees, said I alone exiled far, no luggage valuable things, begging their forgiveness. Group of robbers angry staring eyes, saying we are all affected by your persecution of injustice people, as long as you ask the head of this traitor, do not want nothing. Zengmou angrily said although I am guilty waiting for disposal, but also the court official life, these robbers dare you so, robber whom are also angry, waving the axe and struck the neck Zengmou. Zengmou speak, his head landing sound, just shocked the occasion, there will be two kid came, tied his hands, driving him on his way. After a time, into a city, instant they saw a palace, the sons of the king have an ugly appearance, with judgment in the cases what is wrong with the ghost should be, what should be a blessing. Zengmou forward, lying on the ground and begged for mercy. King reviewing case files, just read a few lines, then angrily said this crime misled His Majesty wrong country, should be thrown into the oil dingo. Ghosts echoed in unison, as the sound of thunder, then there is a giant ghost grabbed the Zengmou under the house to order. I saw ding oil to 7 feet high, surrounded by charcoal fire raging, even rival powers have been red hot. Zengmou trembling with fear, sad wail, no way an attempt to escape. Ghost grabs the hair with his left hand, right hand holding the feet, the Zengmou thrown into the pan. Zengmou feel a whole body up and down with the waves rolling oil, cold rotten flesh, terrible pain, boiling oil poured them into the mouth, even the heart has also been cooking fried. At this time, he just wanted to die quickly, but to find ways to not die. About a mealtime, the giant devil with a fork to pick Zengmou, and thrown into the brick and tummy. King and look through books of notes, said angrily, bullying, ordered by the punishment should be subject to ghost. Zengmou arrested again, only to see a vast mountain not very steep high and steep mountains dagger aspect, like clusters of bamboo shoots. Previously there have been several people have been ordered to pierce the stomach, intestines tangled, miserable could not bear to listen to the voice of the call sign. Ghost reminder Zengmou mountains, Zengmou burst into tears, hold back, ghost with poisonous cone ties Zengmou head, Zengmou reluctantly begging poor. Ghost angry grabbed Zengmou, the air force blows, Zengmou dungeon roller drill body, then a drop down dizzy, interleave knife pierce chest pain indescribable. After a period of time, Zengmou body heavy fall, Dao's holes become bigger, ordered suddenly fell, limbs like caterpillars curled, so they rush him to the Ghost King. King commands statistics Zengmou life make Wunaitu, bending the law to occupy the property obtained money how much. Now there is a beard disheveled man holding the chip count, said 3,210,000. King said, that stuff down the existing, or let him go drink. A moment later, brought the money piled up in the house of the order on the hills like a general, it is gradually getting into the wok, to be melted by fire. Several turns Gishi Zengmou mouth with a spoon to pour juice copper juice flow to the cheek, the skin will focus bad smell, flows into the throat, the internal organs will boil, alive when this thing is always too little, then you too much this stuff, half a day, the copper filling juice considered finished. King commands Zengmou escorted to Ganzhou to become a woman. Zengmou left a few steps, I saw a perimeter frame iron beams up to several feet above a set with hundreds of miles I do not know a large steamer, sent flames colored luster, shine into the sky, ghost belabored, let Zengmou boarded the steamer, Zengmou just close your eyes, leapt steamer, Steamer will rotate with the feet. It seems to feel that they fall down, feeling cold. When Zengmou see their eyes open and found the baby's body has become, but also a girl, a look at their parents, dressed in rags. Sushia also placed beggar yard scoop and dagao gun, so knowing that they have become beggar's daughter, every day she followed the beggar mendicant begging, hungry cuckoo whining, but often could not get a full meal. She was wearing tattered clothes, cannot stop the biting wind. At 14, she was sold to the scholar Zuoki care. Food and clothing can be basically self-sufficient, but the wife is very aggressive, every day stick whip against her, even with a hot iron branded her chest and breasts. Fortunately Scholar Gu quite loved her, she was conscious slightly relieved. Once, east of a rogue boy, suddenly came over the wall to force her own affair. She would like to own sinful predecessor, he has suffered the punishment of the grave, and then now how can I do the job? So loudly shouted. Gu Scholar and the wife were shouted, and that this rogue teenager's escape. Not long after, Gu Scholar in her room overnight, she is endlessly pillow tell their grievances and suffering. Suddenly a loud noise, the room door wide open. There are two robbers armed with knives broke into the house, even cut Scholar Gu head, grabbed the laundry cleaners. She huddled in hiding, no longer afraid to make a sound. Robbers left, she screamed. Wife ran a large room. First wife was shocked, crying to go with her looks for dead bodies together. She was suspected adulterer and Scholar Gu killed together, and thus was like to inform on the state. No, the state strictly interrogated, even tortured. The crime was established, in accordance with the criminal law. In order to cut death penalty, she was tied to the execution site, chest yuan ki yu plug, stomping innocence, that even the underworld of hell, it was not so dark. When is Saber crying? Zengmou playmate heard and say brother nightmares yet. Zengmou eyes about to wake up. I saw the old monk not Jai Fuzuo is still on the futon. Companion scrambling said to him it was late. His stomach has been hungry. How do you sleep so long? Zengmou then stood up looking miserable. The old monk smiled and said when the Prime Minister of Gua efficacious it? Zengmou more surprise, salute-esque. The old monk said as long as the repair virtue benevolence, Chang also has kingly and mostly from what I know such a monk on the mountain? Cocky when Zengmou come, feel dejected when to go, when the Prime Minister's idea has since weak. Later Zengmou into the mountains, I do not know the whereabouts. Different she said blessings to those who do good for evil, to Yanwu people, this is the eternal heaven. You can hear when the Prime Minister to the hearts of people complacent, because this position is not necessarily needed spared no efforts and joy, which can be imagined. Then Zengmou mind palace harem nothing is there, but already vain dreams, fantasy not reality, as he imagined, God will answer and fantasy. Wang Liang quickly cooked, that dream is bound to do, so this should be used as Handong sequel.